Ladies and gentlemen, it's Tito Clock. So please welcome your host, James Deacon.
Everybody, woohoo! It's 10 o'clock, baby, and we are live. There you go. We got some backing music. Do we have backing music there, X? J405? Are you freaking kidding me? Wow, 405 for our being inmates. Well, of some kind of queue, right? It's not naman easy queue, though, X. It's any form of queue, including the A1 queue, because we're like this is since March of 2020, and we've lost track of months already. They kind of all bled into each other, and now we're here on some I don't know, we're April 23, Friday, and well, we're here with you till about 6 o'clock tonight. We got a whole bunch of stuff to give away, but before we do any of that, we've got to check the roll call. We got to do our roll call. Man, just as I said it, says present. Quincy's out there too. Sari, Queenie Angel, Mirna Aberin, another regular, Agnes de la Cruz, Joanne Tagros, Eduardo Lim, Dex Labrador, Rock Makisig, Alan Philip Maliari, Aldrin Montiero, Papao, nice name, Papao. Joanne Tagros, we said hi to Joanne, Janelle Fernandez, okay, Will de la Cruz. I think we got quorum, what we call quorum, right? That means we can start. Although a lot of people are secretly hoping the others don't show up because the prizes today are pretty insane. We've got 6,650. I know it's a really odd number, right? It was supposed to be a nice round number, but then X saw something she just loved and she grabbed and they took. No, I'm just kidding. Selling around. No. It was actually not supposed to. The honest truth is, went there to Oakley, and Oakley's been a supporter for years. I mean, since 2014, I think I've been working with Oakley. So we just did another engagement, and I thought, hey, let's just share the blessings around. Consider it like a sort of online community, something or other, pantry type of thing, but for clothes. Basically just gave some of the allowance that they gave, and just it might be nice for a follower to go and just go nuts there, right? Just go nuts, because all I did was I used about $3,000, 3,000 something. So it's from 10 grand, it's down to 650, right? Because you'll notice next week or maybe the week after, I bought a bag. I bought some stuff, and I bought this Oakley bag, which I'll raffle off again next week. But for now, 6,650, that can go to one lucky person. They can do a complete shopping spree there. You can get sunglasses, you can get apparel, you can get shoes, you can get all sorts of stuff. All Oakley, all premium, all legit. Then we've got the Kratos Technologies. Talk about that a little bit later too, but a sneak preview of that. It is so cool because it's got these UVC boxes where you can like bring to picnics, you could store your clothes in it. So many uses for it, and it's just so novel. I mean, like, you will literally be the life of the party when people see you. How weird times have changed so much. Before, bring a bottle of vodka, whiskey, tanduay, some beer, anything like that, and you're the life of the party. Now you bring a UVC sterilized box, and everyone's just like, wow, look at this guy. Could be you. And then we've got, what's the last one, X? Oh, yeah, the car covers. Car cover. So you get to choose between SUV or car. So then we'll raffle off the other one another time, because there are two, but we're only raffling off one. I think I've given you an overview of what's up for grabs, all right? So for now, let's kick things off with how we normally do and find out the latest in the headlines. For that, we need Chris. Chris, what you got there for us, Chris?
Yes, hello, Tito James. Good afternoon and happy Friday, my fellow inmates. This is Chris for today's 8 o'clock news. The Department of Foreign Affairs, or DFA, announced today that the Philippines filed 2 diplomatic protests against China this week as Chinese vessels continue to linger in the West Philippine Sea. The protests were filed on Wednesday against the non-stop deployment, continued presence, and persistent activities of Chinese vessels in the country's maritime zone. The diplomatic notes were in addition to the daily protests being filed by the DFA against the continued presence of China's vessels at the Julian Felipe Reef. DFA demanded that Beijing adhere to the international law, including the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS, and the final and binding 2016 arbitral ruling that invalidated China's sweeping claims in the South China Sea. The Philippine government has filed a number of diplomatic protests this month and issued repeated appeals for China to withdraw its vessels. It has also protested Beijing's illegal building of the artificial islands and structures and aggressive moves within the Philippines' EEZ. Armed Forces of the Philippines Chief of Staff General Cirilito Sobejana has expressed support for community pantries and is thinking of offering each soldier's daily allowance to help sustain them. However, the counterinsurgency task force has firm suspicion that the food aid project is a communist effort. Defense Secretary Delphine Lorenzana also assured community pantries of support and assistance. Sobejana said that he had reminded Lieutenant General Antonio Barlade Jr., spokesperson of the National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflicts, or NTF-ELCAC, to be very deliberate and exercise due diligence in word and deed. Barlade contended that similar setups had links with the Communist Party of the Philippines, New People's Army, or CPP-NPA, thus the need for the task force to check their activities. The checking has intimidated the organizer of a community pantry in Pantacan, Manila, into closing it down. Sobejana directed the AFP Deputy Chief of Staff for Civil Military Operations to order all units, particularly those involved in civilian relations, to support community pantries and similar efforts. Five universities from the Philippines made it to this year's Times Higher Education, or THE, Impact Rankings, which measure the sustainability efforts of universities worldwide. THE Impact's rankings evaluate universities against the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, or SDG. SDGs are a collection of 17 global goals designed to be a blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all. The Ateneo de Manila University emerged as the top higher education institution in the Philippines in terms of actions taken towards the SDGs. It was ranked in the 201 to 300 bracket. Following Ateneo is the De La Salle University, which was listed in the 401 to 600 bracket. Other universities included in the list were the University of Santo Tomas, Tarlac Agricultural University, or TAU, and the Mapua University. TAU, located in Camiling, Tarlac, is the only public university among the five tertiary institutions. Its major programs include agriculture, biosystems engineering, food technology, veterinary medicine, forestry, and other agriculture-related programs. Pope Francis said in his Earth Day message on Thursday that the planet was at the brink and humanity had to avoid the path of self-destruction. The Pope, who has issued many appeals for environmental protection since his election in 2013, spoke in two video messages, one for the Earth Day live internet event and another for a global climate summit hosted by US President Joe Biden. In support to the scientific consensus that global warming is partly man-made, the Pope cited the COVID-19 pandemic coupled with the effects of climate change and said nature could not continue to be disrespected because it would no longer forgive. In the message to the event hosted by Biden, at which the United States and other countries hiked their targets for slashing greenhouse gas emissions, Pope Francis said people had to care for nature so that it cares for us. The event hosted by Biden was meant to resurrect U.S. leadership in the fight against global warming. Those were today's headlines. Now we're gonna try not to give Tito James a hypertension as we take a look at the inbox.
Good luck with that. I'm already triggered. What you got?
I hope you're ready. Don't worry, we're gonna take it easy a little bit, I think.
Okay.
All right, the first one is called Kamote Corner, and it's not food.
Okay. I. That's a slippery kamote right there, huh?
Yep.
Wow. They are.
Muntik na.
Hindi, talagang, well, the bike hit. I mean, the
Yeah.
ride
I
scooter
mean,
was
I
on.
mean,
Can you see
I
that
mean
again?
the person.
Can you run that again? So, nagbabanking-banking si Kuya. Parang gano'n, no? Tignan mo. Uy, uy, banking,
Yeah,
banking. Wow, he is so lucky. You saw how close he got to that being run over by that car?
I know.
Wow, and look, does anybody notice the double yellow lines? Watch when they zoom in. See the double yellow lines? You see the double yellow lines? Yon. Sequoia. Let me see if the double yellow goes all the way. Yeah, oh. See? It's double yellow. What does a double yellow line mean, Chris?
I don't know. You tell us, Tito
Wait, do
James.
you drive? You do drive? You drive?
I don't drive, Tito
I
James.
thank
I'm so
God,
sorry.
thank God, thank God. Because
That's
if you
why
didn't
I
know the
don't
double yellow
know.
line was, and you do drive, oh my God, this
No.
would be awkward, wouldn't it, X?
You
I
can
will
breathe. I don't drive.
forgive you because you don't drive. But you'd be surprised how many people who drive don't know what the double yellow line is. Okay, for anyone out there who
Please
doesn't know, a
educate us.
double yellow line, no overtaking at all. I said at all. Because you can have a solid line, and that also means no overtaking. You can have a solid line on one side, which means no overtaking one side, but the other side can. But double yellow is super clear. Do not overtake. Do not. And that's, well, he went to the opposite side of the road. He didn't mean to
Mm.
overtake. But in other words, you're not supposed. Move on before I blow
All
the
right,
message.
let's move on. Let's breathe. Let's breathe. Okay, double yellow line.
King
No
bunking,
overtaking.
sabi ko.
Bunking.
Yeah, sige,
All right,
bunking.
let's have the Sala set on wheels.
Who? Ah.
There.
Yeah, that's like you've heard of like these 7-seater SUVs. Well, this is like a not just a 7-seater motorcycle, may table pa.
Yeah.
A whole setting. That is a mobile dining room right there. Perfect for the quarantine and the lockdown.
I
Just
know.
take it outdoors. That's probably what he's doing. Probably just
For your alfresco dining.
it's weird. It's weird, and that's not safe. But you know what?
Ay,
You gotta pick your
nakakatakot.
battles. You just gotta pick your battles already.
Mhm.
Just stay behind the truck, Kuya. Don't try and
Yeah.
overtake. That's all. All right.
Yes, please stay safe. All right, we have photos number 3 and 4, the community pantry, office
Mm.
and factory edition.
Can I see? What is this? What?
This is
Okay.
the office edition.
Okay. All right. I love the one that I posted the other day. It wasn't mine, but I posted. So funny. The one where
What
the guy
was it?
says,
Was it the
uh,
underwear or
well, yeah, the
another
other
one?
one was funny, but the one that was really fun was the one where it's like, well, whoever put the sign community pantry on my tindahan, may
Ay,
hire.
oh my gosh,
So, and the timing was perfect.
that was so bad.
Yeah, well, this is cute. We're thinking of
Anyway,
running a community poodle event soon. Yeah,
oh
where you can
wow.
just get as many pets as you want, and meaning like you can, there you go. Okay.
May araw pa din.
Okay.
Ay nako. Don't do
Okay.
that, guys. Respect the store owners. Yung gawing community pantry.
Okay.
Oh
Good.
my gosh. Mag-donate na lang kayo. All right, let's go to the next one. We have the Corona solution.
Uy.
There we go.
Right. Old school yan, ha? Toyota Corona solution. Nice, nice. Only the Titos would really appreciate this one, I think. That car has
Yeah.
been around since I think the last model was 19.
When was the last one?
If I'm not mistaken, it's 1996. But
My
in the
gosh, sobrang
Philippines,
tagal
at
na.
least. In the
Yeah,
Philippines.
I haven't seen any of
Yeah.
these.
The wide body Corona was the last one I saw, and then it got replaced by Camry.
Okay, okay.
Sige, ano pa?
All right, let's go to the last one, Tito. It says pay before you exist.
Oh my God! Ano yun? Pay your parking before existing. Okay,
Ang
I
hirap
need
naman mabuhay sa world.
to put that post that stat. That. Where was that? That's not Photoshop.
I don't think
Where
so.
is that? Where is it's funny. Guys. Please pay your parking before existing. Actually, but it does sum up the attitude that a lot of businesses have here. Huh? I mean, we laugh, but there's probably a Freudian slip there somewhere, something subliminal. Because literally, before you even exist, they ask you to pay. It's just, it's so annoyed with that. But yeah, it's just like everywhere you go, you're getting stung for something. But before you exist, it's a little
Uh-huh. Magastos. Magastos mabuhay.
prepaid
All
lights.
right.
Absolutely, Spino. I like that. Prepaid
Yeah.
lights.
May bayad na pala ang mag-exist. Yes.
All
Always.
right.
All right. That's all we have for today, everybody. Thank you, Tita James.
All
Thank you,
right.
everybody.
You can see
Yes.
Chris's FB and IG handles there. If
Yes.
you want to book Chris for a PO job or anything like that, you can take note of her handles over there and get in contact and get straight to her. Stuff like that.
Yes.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Do follow me on Instagram and on Facebook. That's Chris Napenas or Chris Napenas. Let's all have an awesome weekend, everybody. This is Chris reminding everyone to eat kamote, but don't be one. Always choose happiness. Stay safe, healthy, and hydrated. See ya. Bye, everyone.
Woohoo! That was Chris with the latest in headlines. And wow. All right. So we're pretty much up to date with that. So we slip into the next something a little more comfortable. This is something that we've been running since the beginning of Eat the Clock. It's a little program just to help the community out, even before Community Pantry came in. Not that this is like a community pantry, but there's some shades of it because we just try to sort of use, instead of giving gulay and stuff, some airtime to the local businesses to just help them get back on their feet. We call it Free Plug Friday. For that, we need X. What you got in the box there, X?
Hi, DJs. We actually have a lot in store once again. But before we go there, I just want to say hi to all the Tito Clockers. Welcome to another edition of Free Plug Friday. All right, peace and rise on our screen. Once again, let's start our Free Plug Friday with some coffee. Woo! All right, Lalin's coffee is made from locally grown, harvested, and roasted coffee that hails all the way from Baguio. Apart from the beans, they also sent this really cool mug, Tito James.
Let me see.
Did you see it? Right? I
What
know.
kind of sorcery is that?
Exactly. I was
my
thinking the same thing.
Goodness, that's so cute. Now, that was really cool. My daughter gave me a one similar for Christmas.
I remember
You
that.
remember? But
Yes.
This is really nice. Look at it.
Look at it. Even
Wow.
Rocket looks really cute there.
Oh,
my God.
why did Rocket get a cameo role?
I don't know. Maybe because he's a raffle dog, perhaps. So cute. Anyway, they also sent in their blends, such as their premium Barako, espresso, baguette, sagada hazelnut, that come in either ground, whole, and a drip type. Which one did you like the most among these, Tito James?
I kind of like always the ground bean. I mean the beans.
The beans.
The beans, yeah.
Yeah, the
Because
whole
I have the long machine that does the bean to cup. So that's my personal favorite because it gets it like right from the source. You see it all happen and all that. There's a story behind every cup. Is what I'm
That's true.
saying.
That's true, Tito James. Wow. Anyway, guys, too bad I don't drink coffee, but hope you guys can check them out. Price starts at 120 pesos for 250 grams of coffee, and it's 300 pesos for a pack of 10 pieces of coffee drip. Again, Laline's Coffee on Facebook and Instagram. Next, we go to Mom Nom's PH. So Mom Nom's PH is actually a small fashion project from Parañaque that was born during the quarantine, Tito James. And it is known for homegrown recipes, and they offer different desserts such as the cookies, fudge brownies, revel bars, crinkles, and they even offer foods such as their classic shepherd's pie and carbonara. Which among the desserts did you like the most, Tito James? I like the revel bars, to be honest. That was my
I was just the
favorite.
same one with the butterscotch.
Uh-huh.
The butterscotch one as well.
Oh.
Yeah, that was kind of good.
I think I was referring to the butterscotch as well. Sorry.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, we were talking about the same one. So I'll have to get back next week because I can't go through all of it right in one hit. It's so much. It's so
I know
much.
you're trying to cut down on your weight, Tito James.
Yes,
but-
of course. Mama Noms. It's nothing to do with the community pantry thing, is it?
Oh my gosh. Let's not get there, Tito James. Let's focus
Oh,
back.
that's a nom, right? I
Nom,
think
yeah,
it's-
yeah,
okay,
nom,
okay,
nom,
nothing
yeah,
to
yeah,
do with
yeah,
that. No
nothing
red
to do.
tagging. No.
Anyway, guys, price start Anyway, guys, price starts at 100 pesos for 10 pieces of crinkles, 125 pesos for 8 pieces of the chocolate chip cookies, and 145 pesos for the 8 pieces of brownies. Hope you can check them out. Mom Noms PH on Facebook and Instagram. Tita James, I know you said you were trying to lose weight, trying to cut down, and what we have here is the Panacea because they offer guilt-free, non-dairy, vegetarian, keto-friendly chocolate with no added sugar. It's chocolate truffle with no added sugar, and it's gluten-free.
Oh, wow. Okay. I gotta taste this.
You gotta taste this, James. So they have 3 different flavors, such as the dark tonka, which is their bestseller, cranberry shiraz, and the hazelnut brave. How do you pronounce Tita James?
The hazelnut breve.
Oh, you can only guess from here. Okay, guys. Prices of 299 pesos for a box of each sugar-free and guilt-free chocolate truffle dessert. Again, the Panacea on Facebook and Instagram. Next, we go to Likhang Yaman PH. So Likhang Yaman offers handmade bohemian home decor such as plant hangers, floating shelves, coasters, wall decors, and key tags. What do you think about these, Tita James?
I'm a big fan of these types of things because, again, anything that tells the story, I mean, if you're going to put something in your home and it's something that as somebody's either, pivoted to do this or they're helping a community or something like that, it's unique. It's not something you see in every department store.
Yeah, that's true.
So I like it. I'm going to go through their list because they obviously have quite a lot to choose from, but I love supporting things like this.
That's pretty awesome, guys. And what's more awesome is the prices are super friendly. Because price starts at 35 pesos for a plant hanger and 95 pesos for a handmade coaster. Anyways, hope you can check them out. Likhang Yaman Makram on Facebook, Instagram, and Shopee. Next, we go to Native MNL. Native MNL offers handmade home pieces that started since December 2020, and they offer native chairs, baskets. What else, Tita James, do they have there? Like native
I'm just going through their
containers,
Instagram
coffee
account
inside
now.
tables.
Yeah, it's very native-ish, obviously. But they got chairs, they got baskets, they got so many different types of things. I like their chairs.
And I like how they
chairs.
No, look at that.
Chair.
That's so beautiful.
The yellow one there, it's called a Palic armchair. Ang ganda. And nice baskets.
Yeah, it can even double up as an organizer.
Wow, even just their high chairs look really nice, and they've got rainbow ones there. Ang ganda. Go and scroll through their site on Instagram. Super easy and friendly to just scroll through it,
exactly.
and you'll see what you find. You'll find something there for sure.
Definitely. And guys, the proceeds also support the livelihood of local talented craftsmen, which is actually a super great thing, guys. Hope you can check them out. Native MNL on Facebook and Instagram. Last but not least, we go to Team Carnidashan Auto Accessories. Tito James does the...
I love the Kardashians.
This is Carnidashan.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Tito James, the owner of this online business, actually was started by a former Uber operator and driver who also happens to be a self-confessed fan of yours.
Wow. Thank you.
Tito
Salamat
James,
po.
he actually knew about you,
Salamat.
yeah?
Sorry, I couldn't keep Uber in the country. I tried. But, best effort, Tito James. Anyway, guys, Team Carnidashan Auto Accessories offers different car accessories such as universal step boards, roof racks, and seat covers as well. Guys, hope you can check them out. Team Carnidashan on Facebook. Well, that's all we have for this week's edition of Free Book Friday. Stay safe and always sanitize the clockers. This is X. Peace out. Happy weekend. Bye. Woohoo! Wow, that was abrupt. Okay. Hi, everyone. Normally we have a little fade after that, but I guess that's it. I think X is worried we're going to get red tagged if we continue this. Anyway, how is everyone doing out there? What we're going to do right now, I think, is we can run a little Ask Me Anything up until the time. This brought to you by our friends at Motolite. Ang matagalan talaga. Because, pang matagalan ng usapan, I guess. If you want to know anything about anything, just pop me a message over here, pop a question, and I'd love to I'll tackle anything, I guess, anything within reason, right? And that's why it's called an Ask Me Anything. So I'll try not to get political, try not to get too controversial or anything like that. And the reason that a lot of people sometimes, especially recently, have been asking, James, why don't you speak up about, let's say, the community pantry, or all these other issues that we're having in the West Philippine Sea? And these are things that affect all of us, right? And there's a growing number of people who are asking why I'm not speaking up. Um, the regulars know this, but I think maybe it's, if enough people are asking, then obviously it needs to be said again. Um, there, I just when it's something like that, right? When you're talking about community pantries, you're talking about mainstream issues like that, the West Philippine Sea. It's not that I don't have an opinion on it. It's not that I don't really care or anything. It's just there's already so many voices. The noise, to break through that noise, what do you need one more person's voice for? That's one. Two, it always gets political, right? And we've always had a mission and vision with this, not just with this show, but everything that the brand does. And it's really to create a better transport experience for everyone. That's been always the goal. And we can't do that if we keep dividing people. So if I keep on commenting on every issue that pops up, make sakai on every issue, like a lot of people do, then you tend to just split up your voice. And then you split up your audience, because people will now put a color on you. Even if you don't have a color, even if you're objective about it, even if you try to tackle it sensibly, because it's a highly politicized issue, what they'll do is they'll drag you to a corner. And that's where it gets counterproductive. And then the good work that we do here, where it's non-political, will be effective because you're dragged into a color, whether it's one side or the other. And so that's pretty much the basic reason why I don't. Sorry, it's an ice maker. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's like the best gift ever. It makes ice like how much ice does that thing make, X? Every 7 minutes? Every 7 minutes. There's just this little manna from heaven. I love my ice, so it's really cool. So that's pretty much all. If there are new people there, thanks, Chi. It's not that I'm trying to escape it. It's not that I don't want to have an opinion or anything. It's just you really do have to choose sometimes. You pick your battles and you choose your lane. Now, I say that with caution because I hate people being told to stay in their lane. That's also a pet peeve. Sometimes we are allowed to have opinions about other things that we cover, but when I say stay in my lane for this particular one, it's there is a mission here. There is a mission and vision, and we're effective. If we weren't, then maybe, yeah, by all means. But we're effective with it. We've done so much as a community. And that is what you don't want to jeopardize. You are getting results. We're getting laws passed. We're getting attention drawn to certain things. We're getting results just by using this platform to be able to bring up topics that matter, especially when it's transport, road related, and things get done. So you don't want to get too far out of that and start, West Philippine Sea and this communist here and that. See what I mean? That's where it gets it kind of crazy. Somebody asked about my hair. Alpha asked, do I color my hair? No, I don't color my hair. I don't think I had ever in my life. And I have to pause even just for a moment to think why is it blurry now? There you go. I don't, and it's naturally like this. So that's the salt and pepper coming out, and there's starting to get a little more salt and pepper in there. But yeah, so I always joke around because every time my barber says, "Sir, baka gusto niyo ng konting kulay dyan," I said, the day I come back with colored hair, my wife is gonna ask, "What's your name?" Right? It's gonna be so obvious, After 48 years, now you're coloring your hair. Come on. So no, I will go gracefully. I will go very gracefully and very naturally. And I lost the screen here, X. I lost my screen for some reason. I think we're still online, but yeah, for some reason we lost the screen. But all right, hang 5 there. I'm gonna try and use a different. I lost it. All right. Sorry about this, guys. Drama. I see there. All right, there we go. Something's wrong with the some kind of problem with the monitor, I think. Yeah, it's like there's some wiring problems here, so I'll just pretend that I see you and just hope for the best. So yeah, so the hair coloring thing, I hope I answered that for you. And what else is there? We'll have to look here for the questions. What does Rose say? What kind of topic catches your attention the most? Like personally, something that you see instantly that you feel that you voice your opinion now. Well, definitely when it's transport related. When I feel that there's an injustice or there's something just blatant, and I try to be very careful about choosing the issue and not the personalities. Recently, I kind of stepped over because I feel that it's still within the same area of concern. It might not be 100% transport, but there's an area it is actually of concern around the homeowners associations charging for deliveries because they're delivery bikes, so definitely there's transport there. That gets my goat because I feel that it is taking advantage of the situation. I think it's heartless. I think homeowner associations who charge delivery charges now to the riders and to the homeowners really have no place managing a subdivision, because if you can't figure out a way how to make enough money to run your subdivision based on the original business model that other subdivisions are successfully doing, you have no business there. It's as simple as that. Because many subdivisions don't charge these usurious rates. Many don't charge at all. All right. If they can do it, you can do it too. If you can't do it, you're doing something wrong. Stop passing it down to your homeowners and your residents, etc. It's ridiculous. So here, that's something that gets me going. And Steve says 100 is way too much. And I believe you. Yeah, man, even 30 is way too much, because imagine how many deliveries you will get sometimes in a day. Here in Tito Clock Studios, it can be anywhere from 5 to 10 a day. Now, okay, granted, ours is a little bit different because we're running with a bit of a business here, but people are running businesses now from their homes, so I don't think there really is a difference. Imagine 30 pesos, 50 pesos each time, but it's the principle too. It's really the principle. You can't just tell people that we're trying to drive a certain behavior. This is what always gets me, is that if you want to drive a certain behavior, you have to have a plan around it. You have to create and influence that behavior. So if you try the box there, X.
No.
Reboot. We're on X's laptop. Okay. What are you gonna do? You just gonna stand here?
Yes, I have to
Okay.
just talk to them while I hold this.
All right.
They might think we're flaking from the raffle.
We're not playing. Okay, you hold that for a second.
Oh, yeah.
I'll continue to talk to you. We'll see if this works.
What happened?
What happened?
Welcome back. What happened?
This is definitely Tito Clock when we first started. Every day was like this, remember? Okay.
Remix on the spot.
How do you spell? What? Don't make them see the password.
Okay. No peeking.
You'll see my browsing history.
Did you fall from your chair?
Did I fall from my chair? No, I didn't, but it should be coming up now. All right. So yeah. It's booting up. My God. All right. There. Okay, we're safe now.
Put yourself in the stream
Your
first.
computer was restarted because of a rocket. A problem.
All right.
Okay. All right. So you'll have to bear with me here for a second, guys. I'm really sorry about this. I will just set it to the StreamYard. Okay, and then I enter this broadcast studio.
Yes. You're good.
And we should be good. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
So it was actually it was the computer that hung. It wasn't the cord.
What's your most unforgettable experience?
Right now?
Someone asked, what's your most unforgettable experience in hosting?
Okay, probably now. No, I'll here we go.
There.
Okay, we're back. Disappear there, Bill. Thanks, X. All right. That was awkward, and that goes kind of similar to one of my hosting experiences. Or some of the I'll think of one, but X, you might be able to remember another one. This was way back when. I remember I was hosting this event, and we were televised and everything. And it was like a pageant or a fashion show. And the models were so beautiful, and they were all on stage. And I walked down, and I had to walk down like 3 or 4 steps. It was like a 3-level stage and stuff like that. And I was talking as I was walking, and I tripped, and I fell, and I landed on this girl. Oh my God, it was so awkward. And so everyone went, like this, and I had to go. I'm falling for you. Sorry, it was a very Tito thing, but that was I didn't know what else to say, right? And then they laughed. They laughed a bit, but it was just really, really awkward. But there have been, I think, nothing really hosting, like, depends if you're talking live hosting or like radio hosting. I remember one time, and this is really bad. I'm cringing already on the inside just remembering it. Oh gosh, I accidentally condoled with somebody. I gave them condolences for their father who had passed away, and the father hadn't died. I got bad information. He was a friend, though. He was a friend, so I don't know if that makes it any better, right? I say it like it's going to get me off the hook, but yeah, it was just his father was in hospital. I got bad information. It came from a point of sincerity, but I said it on radio because he was a regular listener, and I said, I'd just like to offer my condolences to so-and-so for his father passing away. And he texted me, oh my God, my dad died. I didn't know. I was like, oh my God. You can see I'm cringing now, remembering. That was about 10 years ago. Yeah, that was pretty bad. I asked the same question to Sam YG. I thought his answer was really funny too. He was doing a live hosting for the Krispy Kreme opening. Yeah, it was Krispy Kreme, right? Yeah. In Green Hills, yeah. Krispy Kreme in Green Hills. And he was told to introduce the head of Krispy Kreme who had flown in for the opening. And there was Sam YG going, and ladies and gentlemen, please welcome up the head honcho, Mr. Donut himself. And everyone just went, because if you remember Green Hills, there's a Mr. Donut there. It didn't go down well. No, man, that was funny. That was a highlight. It wasn't my thing, but it was funny. Okay, you're hosting gala. Okay. Sorry, I thought they were telling me a story. I remember you hosting a Toyota Gala event a few years ago, and they tried. Okay. We were supposed to shoot a portrait of you. Oh man. What can you say about Angel Luxin's community pantry? Masyado mahinig ngayon. All right. What do I think of it? I think the intentions obviously are good, right? I mean, I think Angel Luxin has done enough to show that she really does, I know she's controversial and stuff, but she's coming from a point of sincerity. I believe that. Having said that, and this is not a criticism at all, but having said that, this is the reality that we face right now. People are desperate. People are hungry. She is a celebrity. She's a superstar here. And so when you open, even with the best of intentions, if you open up like that, and please don't take this as blame or shade or hate, none at all, because I like to judge people on their intentions, and I believe hers were good. But then having good intentions, there's a saying, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, because in this particular case, obviously too many people showed up, and that was kind of inevitable. because of the ingredients that you put together. Superstar, People Are Hungry, Community Pantry is a trending thing at the moment. So there was a bit of a recipe there that created a very unfortunate situation. And my only hope and prayer here is that I really obviously cannot feel any worse than for the family is they just lost somebody like that. So condolences to them. That's really tough. But if the whole community pantry is now taken down because of it, let's just say somebody, because they are trying to take it down, right? So somebody in government comes in and says, you see, this is why we don't want community pantries, then that's going to be even a bigger blow for the country. But as government, they will have actually a bit of that right to do that. And whether you think it's using the situation or not, well, you can have your opinion on that, and we totally respect that. But they do have a responsibility now because there's been a fatality. And this is where it gets very confusing. Also, when you talk about, like this red tagging and all that, I personally, if you're asking my personal opinion, I don't believe that there's anything there with Patricia Non and the Maginhaw and all that. But I do know human nature, and I do know that after a while, whether it starts out with it or not, bad elements can use good operatives and good programs like this to create havoc. So there is a possibility of using it. The government obviously are being very threatening about it, and I think on a PR move, it was the worst thing they could have done. There's so many other ways they could have handled this, but yes, people are people, and sometimes they take advantage of these situations. These opportunities to. It brings out the best and worst, is how I can sum it up, and that's the reality of it. So you have to always be careful when you're doing anything, even if it's from a charitable point of view or anything like that, because these situations bring out the best and worst in people. You've seen it with tragedies. You've seen it with calamities, typhoons, and any type of situation. The best people come out, or it brings out the best side. It can also bring out the worst side, and they coexist. So you have to always be a little bit careful. And this is why I guess maybe the government's obviously insecure here, but that's where they're coming from. So I don't know what the solution is. I mean, I wish I did. If I did, I'd probably be, earning a lot more than I earn now, and I'm holding a very, very important position. But it is a tricky thing, because you do want to encourage people who are doing it genuinely, and you want to also make sure that nobody's taking advantage of it. And that's a very tough thing to balance. Going back to, I think they got off on the worst possible foot that they could have, red tagging straight away, or even just coming up with the suggestion that they're going to, permits, even the suggestion of it, even if they take it back, it just comes across as bullying, and bullying in the time of need. So again, this is why I don't really, do all these posts about these mainstream things, because people are so passionate about it and misguided by their emotions. They react solely on emotion, and your voice gets lost, and then it gets devalued in other places where you were effective. So there. A lot of pushing for RSA to run for position. On your opinion, do you think it's best for a country as a businessman? You do. Okay. As a blanket rule, no. And I'm talking not RSA. As a blanket rule, I think Donald Trump, we learned a lot from that about trying to put a businessman in. Okay, now I know a lot of people are going to say, hey, he wasn't a businessman, he was bankrupt, he was this. I get it, I know. But we did see shades, and we did learn that there's a clash. You cannot just say, well, if you run the country like a business, it would be successful. That's not, because they're two completely different things. You don't have programs like you have in business. Your main goal is to make money, whereas in the government there are so many different responsibilities you have to communities. You can't apply just solely a business mind to it. But I see what you're saying. So I do think that somebody could be a bit more of a hybrid, and I think RSA, if I was going to put some kind of bet on it, I would definitely back somebody like that, because I think he has the right kind of balance of being a businessman that understands politics. He's not necessarily a politician, but he's been doing business in this country long enough to understand how politics works. You have to have a realistic mind about that. And this is why I don't ever want to get into politics, because I'm coming from a completely different place. So I would just get frustrated. And I think I would be very ineffective in politics. That's how I feel, because I would get so frustrated with the process and with all of the inefficiencies, the corruption, the red tape, the game playing, and all that crap. I think someone like RSA is far more seasoned and has far more experience dealing with the government to be able to pull it off. It's a very long answer to your question. So I just started off by saying I just wanted to dispel the thing that if it's a businessman running a country, it will be better. I just don't want to say it as a blanket thing. I think RSA would do a pretty good job doing that. Now, that's just my opinion. If you're asking about reality, I just don't think he'll get the mass votes. I just don't think that he appeals, even though his products are mass based. His projects that he's doing are mass based. Somehow they don't relate. And considering, it's weird because that guy came from very hard times, from very humble beginnings. I mean, if anyone has really come from the masses, I mean, he's one of those guys. But somehow we have to be realistic about how people vote. And they vote with emotion, they vote with recall, they vote with so many other things. Dance steps, your TikTok account. So this is where people like RSA will never really get that platform to shine, because he's not valued in that way by the people who actually control the vote. Again, just an opinion. The volume of what? Higher? Okay, lower. There you go. So that's my take on that. I think I have time for one more question before we hit the raffle, because we got quite a bit to raffle off. So let's take another question, and hopefully it's not too controversial. Did you think of ever becoming the MMDA chair? Perhaps you could improve. Okay, a great question that I get asked all the time. The very short answer is no. And again, it's about being effective. I don't think that I could be effective in a position like the MMDA chairman, because the MMDA chairman, I think, has an extremely tough job, because they are the face of all the problems of traffic, flooding, and general, running a city type thing. But just go on traffic first and flooding and stuff like that. Just those two alone, they are the poster boys. They are the face of all your problems, but they don't have the power to solve them. That is a very horrible situation to be in. You are literally just an administrative function. You come from the office of the president, and you can enforce, but you cannot create the rules. So how are you going to be effective there if you're enforcing rules that you yourself don't believe in? For you to be effective, you need to be able to cut through all that and just say, no, there's going to be like this, and this. But then you'd have to go through the 19 different mayors and ask each one their opinion and get them to all agree. Anyone, if you even have 19 friends, trying to get them all to agree on something is next to impossible. Just wondering where to have dinner or where to go out and stuff like that. Can you imagine getting 19 egos? Because that's really, when you're talking about mayors, that's 19 elected egos that you need to deal with, all with conflicting interests, that you now have to play that game between all of them. And then who gets taya in the end when it doesn't work out? The MMDA chair. That's why I'm very careful. If you notice, I don't bash the MMDA, even though I'm very sometimes really, I want to pull my hair out. I'm very careful. I'm very, 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 very careful when I do that, because I know that position is somewhat cursed. These people have a very hard job, especially when you're in chairman or GM and stuff like that, because of exactly what I said earlier. So short answer is no. You can be a prophet, servant. King listens with. Find me a king who will listen to me, and yes, I would gladly be the prophet. But I don't think so. I really feel that, again, going back to being where you are most effective, I really not just feel I'm effective here. I enjoy it. I enjoy being, even if it's just a little voice for a little sector of society. I think it's great. It's very fulfilling. It gives me purpose, a lot of purpose, actually. To be able to use the skills that I've been given, or experience or talents of articulating a point. And for the community, what can be better than that? You're literally using your gift to help others. And that, as we might have talked about last time, sums up pretty much the meaning of life. It's to find your gift, and then, or the purpose of life is to find your gift, and the meaning is to give it away. And that's what I'm doing. That's why I love waking up in the morning. I love going to work. I love meeting people. I love doing this because you feel effective, you feel appreciated, and you feel like you're making a difference. And when you do that, even if it's just a little bit, even if you just make this much difference, it's great. All you have to be is better than yesterday. That's it. That's the only goal. Don't think too far down the track because you might get overwhelmed. But if you just aren't better than yesterday, by the time you reach next year and the year after, you're pretty much on fire. You're doing really well. X, I got like the third warning here on the battery, and so there's obviously a problem with my charging of my battery here too. We have 10%. We better raffle. All right, guys, you're in luck because we have a problem with the battery, which means is there some music? They couldn't hear him talk. All right, Rocket. You know what to do. We only have 10% battery, right? So that means you have to draw this out fast. Okay? Got it? All right. Good. Ready? Oh, what? It's raffle time with the Rocketeer. Okay, so Rocket, this is what they're going to win today, all right? Listen to me, all right? They are going to win today several different items. There's so many. We're going to be giving away a shopping spree at the Oakley store. 6,650, a very odd and random number, but it can get you a lot of really cool stuff. Believe me, I got some really cool stuff there the other day that I'm going to be raffling off next week. But for now, you can spend it on whatever you like. 6,650, right? So that's going to be going to one lucky person. Am I boring you? You're right. I'm sorry. I'll try to step it up a bit. So we've got our second raffle, which is the Kratos Technologies. This is so cool, right? It's cool because it's a bag. It's a smart bag, and it's a smart box. And you can put a power bank, and you plug your power bank into it, put it in the bag, put it in the box, and then it becomes a UVC sterilized box. So you can take anywhere Rocket. You can put Rocket in there, right? Well, you shouldn't put Rocket in there, but technically, no, just don't put Rocket in there. Don't put any animals in there. It's really for your clothes. It's for your items like your phone, your iPad, your computer, anything you want sterilized, shove it in there, and it'll be sterilized, and you'll be the talk of the town, the life of the party. Imagine showing up to a picnic with that, going, here, guys, I got my UVC meat over here, and it's like, oh my God, look at this guy. So we're giving away a box. We're giving away a bag. The box is worth like $8,000, 8 something. And then the bag's worth, I think, around 5,000 or something like that. And then you've got the light itself, which is just for your room. You just zap your room and it'll kill everything in there. That one over there. That's for those. So there are 3 different prizes. Now we're up to 4. Then lastly, we have the car cover. Now, the car cover, you'll notice that there are 2 car covers. There's an SUV and a car cover. We're only giving away one, and we'll give away the other one in the next 8 o'clock. So the advantage, if you win this one, you get to choose between the SUV or the car, whereas next week, it'll just be whichever one is left. All right, so are you ready, Rocket the Raffle Dog? How about your mom? Is your mom ready? Ask her. Ready, Mom? All right, X is ready with her raffle ready. Here is the little raffle dog. Look them on, Rocket. There you go. They want to see your eyes. Boom, boom. Let's go, Rocket. Come on, Rocket. Is he going to draw all 5? Friiidaaaay. Wow, he got the UV box. Hey, let's see. He got okay. Dominic got the car cover. You can choose between the SUV or car. And this is the last one, the Oakley shopping experience. Wow! He's going to be watching, right? Oh. All right, so that's it. Who's a good rocket, huh? Who's a good rocket? All right, Rocket. Say goodbye to everybody. Take that thing off so that they can see Rocket's face. There you go, Rocket. All right, Rocket. Say bye to everybody. Bye, everybody. Congratulations, everybody. Okay, hope to see you next week, everyone. All right, there you go. So that pretty much wraps it up. Let me check my battery here. Oh, this is cutting it really thin. I don't know what's wrong with it, but I think I don't think it's the actual, I think it's the adapter. Something wrong with the adapter. Anyway, that pretty much wraps up this Tita Clock. I hope you won. If you didn't win, don't hold it against us, please. Especially not Rocket. He's too young. He's too sensitive. He doesn't mean it, you know. So if you didn't win, there's always next week. Also, we do have a promo code, don't we, X? If you didn't win the box, if you didn't win the bag, you can use the promo code. Do you happen to have that promo code there that you can flash? You just use Tita James. And where do they go for that promo code if they want to use it? Website. So you go to Kratos Technologies. So if you're interested in that, Kratos is spelled with a K. Kratos Technologies, and you can go there, use the promo code, and they'll give you a special discount for that as well. So until then, guys, be good to one another. Make sure you always sanitize. And on behalf of the entire team X, Y, and Z, and of course Chris, who left us earlier on, thank you very much for joining us. Bye, guys.
Fancy meeting you in my internet. Couldn't help but notice your smile, while everybody else around us is surfing about. Can we just stop and chat a while? Get away from these gray and boring, lonesome days of our quarantine. Early yet to say what lies ahead. It's just the first day of the rest of our lives. Love could be waiting at the end of this quarantine. Let's stop and talk a while. Let's stop and talk a while.